Hello, I'm Sumarpung and welcome to my channel. Sales role itself is unique. So are the sales people. Therefore, in many corporations, the sales department is obviously one of those that is difficult to manage. In this episode, we will be discussing a typical condition of a sales organization that exists commonly within companies, which is the result of what we call it as the black box sales management practice. This common sales management practice had caused many pains and challenges to the sales organization in particular, and to the company in general. We will take a look at some pains and challenges that stick out most of the time. So let's start. The common sales management practice in many companies is what we call it as the black box sales management style. This black box sales management style is not chosen deliberately within the company, but is a result of a collection of deficiencies, of incompetencies within the sales department itself. We will talk more about these deficiencies in more detail in later episodes in this video series. In a black box sales management style, the way sales is managed is pretty simple. First, hire and recruit salespeople. Then, give them the numbers that they have to attain at the end of the sales period. And there's nothing else. The company provides nothing whatsoever beyond hiring and giving out sales numbers. So there's a big black box over there. We imagine it as a black box because basically we don't know how the salespeople attain the numbers. We don't know if there is a process. We don't know if the attainment is repeatable. We don't know if there are problems or mistakes that are actually avoidable. We don't know if the numbers are too small or too big for the sales people. In other words, we know nothing about those things. And when we know nothing, basically we control nothing too. And I would say this black box sales management style has three phases: the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's see what they are one by one. The good side of the black box management style is, first, it's easy and simple to implement. Why? Because there are only two variables to consider: hiring salespeople and giving out numbers to them. That's all. Second, from the sales management team perspective, it takes less time and effort to manage their sales team. The only main activity they have to do is to wait for the sales team to come back to the office and submit their attainment numbers. Well, and yes, of course, rather than waiting at the end of the sales period, sales management may regularly ask for sales updates, say once a week or bi-weekly. But the main activity is still the same, which is to say, checking the numbers. So it's the same number checking, but just doing it more often. Now, if you remember from our previous episode, we have three stakeholders within the company regarding corporate sales. They are the account managers, sales managers, and the top management. Can you guess what actually resides within their heads with this kind of sales management style? For the account managers and sales managers, they have wishful thinking. Let me explain what I meant by wishful thinking. When they are engaging an opportunity or a deal, they have little information about the condition within the client, about their competitors, about who are the important contact persons to follow up with within the client, and so on and so on. Basically, they have little information about everything of the deal. So when they are being asked, are you going to win the deal? They can only say, well, we are hoping we can close it soon. Maybe by mid-year. In fact, there is really not much supporting evidence that can substantiate their wish. They have little information and therefore lots of wishful thinking. They also have a particular engagement mode. I call it as best effort basis. So, if they are being asked, in order to win this deal, what exactly are you going to do? They don't know. So, what they can answer is, we will do our best to win and close this deal. Basically, there is no clear and concrete steps that they should be pushing forward. In other words, they don't have a specific plan or strategy for winning the deal. What they can do is just on a best effort basis. Now, what's inside their top management mind? They are actually anxious and worried. Why? Because they receive little information, whether their company will achieve the already planned revenue targets, whether their achievement can be repeatable, whether past mistakes can be avoidable in the future, and so on. So, with this black box management style, those who think it's good probably only the account managers group and the sales managers group, whereas the top management is kept anxious and worried. Now let's see what's the bad side of the black box management style. If there was a success, they don't know how to repeat that success. It's because they don't actually know what has contributed to the previous success. If there were failures in the past, they don't know how to avoid them in the future. It's because they don't know what actually had caused that past failures. If they don't know what has caused them, how can they anticipate and avoid in the future? And since they have little information about success and failures, obviously neither they know who are actually accountable for that success and failures. So they don't know who is actually good or not so good amongst their sales team. And as the consequence, they may well rewarding or penalizing the wrong salespeople. And the worst scenario is where great salesperson is not rewarded and not so good salesperson is not properly corrected. We will see more about this in the next slide when we talk about star performer and non-performer. With all the conditions above, apparently it's going to be very difficult to develop a strong sales team. So when someone says the sales team in that company is not strong, the chances are that company is practicing the black box sales management style. Within a company, which salesperson do you think is branded as the star performer? Yes, you're right. It's the salesperson that attained or frequently attained his or her sales quota. Exceeding sales quota is a good thing. So, obviously, he or she is happy and so his or her superiors, the sales management. But sometimes, let me repeat, sometimes the fact of exceeding sales quota is like the tip of the iceberg. We know he or she exceeded the sales quota, but we don't know what had contributed to her or his success. One possibility, again, this is just one possibility, the success was due to a favorable condition where most deals are either low-hanging fruits or even falling fruits types. What are low-hanging fruits and what are falling fruits? Let's discuss in the next slides. The easiest way to understand low-hanging fruits and falling fruits metaphor is by looking at a mango tree. A mango tree may be big and tall, may have fruits all over its branches. Low-hanging fruits are those that are closest to the ground. The fruits are so low that in order to pick them up, you don't have to use any ladder or supporting tools. Just stand up on the ground and you will be able to pick them up easily. This metaphor is used to indicate deals that are easy to find and easy to win. Is there such thing as low-hanging fruits in corporate selling? Yes, surely is. And if you are in corporate sales, I'm sure you know they do exist. Next, the falling fruits. Just open your hands and wait for the fruits to fall into your hands. This metaphor is used to indicate deals that are so easy to get. Again, is there such thing as falling fruits in corporate selling? The answer is, again, yes, there is. Let me give you an example. I'm sure you know and aware of Microsoft products such as Windows and Office, right? Windows and Office are considered as falling fruits. Lots of companies are already using or trying to use these products. What salespeople need to do is just pay a visit and ask when are they ready to make purchases. These are falling fruits type, right? Besides low-hanging fruit and falling fruits, there could be other lucky factors beneath the surface that had contributed to the success of a star performer. Here are some more examples. The deals happen to have little competition. In a niche market, this condition is quite normal. The client segment fit with your products or solutions. For example, you are handling clients with large back office operations and you carry line of business server application or cloud solutions. Or the client set you are given by your sales management happen to be in high demand for your product or solutions. For example, there's a trend in banking industry to the business digital transformation, and one popular initiative is the foray into fintech, and you happen to carry fintech solutions. Again, those are just examples of what might be the real contributors to the salesperson success. Those are the lucky factors. So this salesperson might not be really great in sales competence, but he or she is just lucky in this case. Now, which salesperson do you think is branded as non-performer? Yes, you're right. It's the salesperson who did not attain sales quota. Missing sales quota is not a good thing. So he or she won't be happy, and so his or her superiors. And similarly, this condition might be the tip of the iceberg. There could be unseen contributors to his or her missing quota. One possibility is due to raw opportunities. What is raw opportunities? Let's see. Again, we will use the mango tree to explain this metaphor. Raw opportunities are deals that are first difficult to reach, which means you will need to spend and invest considerably more time and effort in engaging with these deals. In this analogy, the mangoes are up in high branches. To pick them up, you will need ladders and other equipment. And obviously, picking up those mangoes require more time and effort. Second, not ready to close anytime soon. The mango is still raw. If you remember the client buying journey, which we discussed in early episodes, clients start their buying journey with the identification phase. Now, imagine if they haven't thought that they have any needs that your products or solution can satisfy. For example, several years ago, most schools has never thought that they will need to conduct classes fully online. So if you carry online learning management system such as Microsoft Teams, it would be a tough sell. You will need to spend time and effort to just educate these schools because they haven't even started a buying journey yet. It may take several years before these schools are ready to consider your products or solutions. Salesperson that are assigned with raw opportunities and are given short-term sales targets for these opportunities definitely will miss. Besides the raw opportunities, there could be other unlucky factors beneath the surface that had contributed to the misfortune of a non-performer. Here are some more examples. The deals happen to be complex. Client buying journey may be the same and has the same number of stages, but each stage has long and complex process. It makes more difficult for the salesperson to navigate along the client buying journey. It happens that the deals bring many competitors. Popular or commodity products may fall into this situation. Wrong segments. Example is when the salesperson is assigned to client segment that has little interest in your products or solutions. Well, try to sell cloud solutions with high performance and high availability to client segment that don't care much about back office system with high performance and high availability. Poor client sets. Your clients may be big in size, but what's more important is their wallet size for your products or solutions. If their allocated budgets for your product is small, you will know immediately that these clients will not bring you much sales revenue. If most of your clients are of this type, your client set is poor. Those are just examples of what might be the real contributors to the salesperson misfortune. Those are the unlucky factors. So, this salesperson may actually be a great sales, but he or she is just unlucky in this case. Okay, so we have discussed the good side and the bad side. Now, what's the ugly side of the black box management style? Can you make a guess? The first one is everything comes as a surprise. Surprised when winning the deal. Surprised when losing the deal. Surprised when an unknown competitor winning the deal. Surprised when their price is the highest in the bid. Surprised when their price is the lowest in the bid. Surprised when clients stated that have different needs, and so on and so on. Why everything comes as a surprise? Because with black box management style, they have little information on what's going on and they don't have a plan. With black box management style, surprise is a norm. The second one is regarding their sales team habits of explaining things that happened within their responsibilities. Instead of reasons, they only have excuses. Why they don't have reasons? Because they don't know what's actually going on. Basically, they don't have answers. So what they can do is make up some excuses. This is the ugly side of the black box management style. When everything comes as a surprise, when the sales team cannot provide reasonable answers, the chances are the company has been practicing the black box management style for quite a while. The black box sales management style has another implication. It has caused fresh graduates to become reluctant to begin their career in sales. Why? Because the black box sales management practice has created certain conditions within the company that in turn created a stigma to many people. Stigma that salespeople are born, which means that sales potential is given at birth. So sales excellence is not a choice, it's given. If you are not born to be in sales, no matter how hard you may try, you will never become a great salesperson. Where does this stigma come from? Let's see. The reason many people, including fresh graduates, think that salespeople are born is because they believe that sales is more of art rather than science. Why is that? Well, in the previous slides, you saw that salespeople were given target numbers and nothing else. Some eventually succeeded in attaining the sales target, while others did not. If you ask those who succeeded with questions like, how do you achieve the numbers? They can provide descriptions, the series of events that happen before success, but not prescriptions. So when you ask them, if I want to be as successful as you are, what should I do? They cannot provide the answers. It's like the profession in painting. Someone may be able to describe a great painting, but cannot tell how to create a great painting. Everyone agrees that a great painter is born. Same thing in music. A great musician is born. In this video series, in later episodes, we will see that actually great salespeople are not born. But let's continue with the stigma that currently exists. The next stigma for fresh graduate is that carrying quota is really terrifying. I had interviewed many fresh graduates, and most of them don't like sales role because of this particular quota thing. It's terrifying for them because they don't have any clue at all on how to attain it. Maybe it's like giving them a target to create 3 good paintings or compose 3 good musics. Another stigma is that in order to be able to perform well in sales, they would need a long prior experience in sales. This assumption is not exactly accurate, as we will see in later episodes of this video series. But as a recap, these are the prevailing assumptions that discourage fresh graduates to start their career in sales. And all of these assumptions are the result of the black box sales management style. As a summary, the black box sales management style depends solely on just 2 sales engine components, the salespeople and the sales target. But it's still popular in many corporations. Why? Because it's easy and simple for the account managers and sales managers. In the next episode, we will start discussing the sales engine. And we're going to start with hiring, the first step in developing sales team. See you next time.